it off. I'm like, you just go, just go.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a lot, and I need to focus on getting myself back together before I even put effort into a relationship.
Yeah, especially that early on. If it's different if you're engaged or married, I think, because you've already kind of taken that. Even actually, maybe not even if you're engaged, but if you're married, you've said those vows, okay?
Or you can be together for 10 years
or
5 years, and it's happened.
A year, that's not really that long. I mean,
taking a name, you coded the door, and welcome to the game.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Dear Dilemma. Hannah, it's been a while since I've seen you.
I know.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was good.
She's got new hair. Look at her.
New hair.
New. How's it go? New hair, new this.
Oh, new hair, new me.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I had to cover up all the grays, you guys. So gray blending. I did post a video about it on our TikTok and our Instagram. If you want to check it out,
go check it out.
Yeah, if you're young gray-haired girly, got to figure out a way to blend it
and own it. Yeah, it's okay. It's natural. It's going to happen to all of us eventually. So either you can cover it, or you can own it, or you can make it fun.
Yeah, I'm going to let it grow out in the back, and we'll figure it out as we go.
I like it. So, all right, what do we have today?
So this one is kind of crazy. I'm going to go ahead and just start it off. I know. I feel like I say that every single week, but they really just do get crazy.
Well,
all right. So I've been dating my boyfriend for a total of 2 years. We were dating for about a year when he was in a really tragic car accident, causing him to be paralyzed from the waist down. He is now completely wheelchair bound, and I have stayed by his side through it all over the last year. Ooh, that just gave me chills. That's a lot.
Or it's the fact it's freezing down here.
It could be either.
Just keep going.
Every surgery, every wound, every setback. Aww. We have plans to move into a house that he bought before his accident after we made it wheelchair accessible. When that time comes, I asked him if he can hire someone else other than his mom to be his full-time caregiver. While he's been living at home, it's made the most sense for his mom to be his caregiver, but has proven to be negligent with allowing him to have reoccurrent wounds and obviously not repositioning him or taking care of him like she should.
Kid.
That's crazy.
Couldn't be me.
I mean, I agree. Get a different caregiver, right?
Yeah.
I've been very clear that he needs to have a more trusted full-time caregiver when he moves out or we move in together. He is now hospitalized again from another, those are capitals, again from another, all caps, wound. That was obviously her fault. That sucks. Despite all of this, he is consistently choosing to be complacent about his care and doesn't want to get a new caregiver. I feel like he continues to choose his mom and her feelings over my own. I've been nothing but supportive and advocating for him and his health and his needs, and I don't get his support or backing in return. I'm exhausted, and I don't know if it's worth it anymore. I feel like I need that support from him in return for us to work out long term and continue to overcome all of the coming obstacles that we will continue to face together. I don't want to break up with him and leave him at his worst, but at the same time, I'm almost to my breaking point, and I've always put him and his needs before my own. I just don't think if he can choose me the way that I've always chosen him, then it's not worth it anymore. I'm also worried about what people will think of me for leaving him now after all this time of sticking through it. I just don't know what to do, but my mental, emotional, and physical health are all starting to suffer because I'm so stressed out.
That's sad.
I know. I kind of almost am a little bit teary-eyed.
That's sad. And it's
that's
hard.
So much
that's
to go
a lot.
Through.
And we don't know, obviously, how old they are. But,
no.
I mean, obviously of age if they have a house together. So probably past 18.
Maybe early 20s, I'm guessing.
Probably.
Ish.
If you're, your mom's helping and, like you said, they have a house there that they bought. So it could be I don't know. It could be any age really.
It could be 20s to 30s maybe.
Yeah. We're going to assume obviously they're past 18. So they're adults and of age. And that's hard because not only that, but no matter how old you are, is it, I don't know what I would do. If you would leave, is it holding you back from I don't know I don't know how to word that. Not holding you back, but like, is there something or someone else out there better for both of you that would
be like better suited or
better suited, better mental health?
It's hard because it's like, I think, did she say that they had been together like for a year before the accident, and then
like
she's been there for another year or
so
something?
It's 2 years.
2 years total. So
and it's really early as well.
Yeah, but like, you've obviously probably fallen in love at this point, and then he has this tragic accident, then he's wheelchair bound. Like, that alone just changes a lot about the dynamics of a relationship.
Yeah.
And she stuck through all of it. It's not like she was like, oh, you're paralyzed, bye.
Yeah.
Like, also, like, I commend this writer, like whoever wrote this in, because that's a lot in and of itself, like, especially after not maybe dating that long. And if you're young, like if you are in your 20s or something, you kind of are probably mourning too, like, well, I won't be able to have that normal like wedding or that normal marriage, or like if we have a baby, can he hold him? Like, I don't know, because if you're paralyzed from the waist down, like, do you have any other tone issues? And that's just me, like, my physical therapy brain kicking in. Like, does he have any other,
your
like,
waist
issues?
Down, typically, I don't. No, I'm going to say that. I'm like, I've seen
Can you have kids?
Well, yeah, because I see it on social media all the time. People want to know if the man's in the wheelchair and the woman's not, like, what's your sex life? And which one I think is so personal to be asking.
That's like so wrong. That's like asking a pregnant woman, like, how much weight have you gained with this pregnancy? Like, you just don't ask that.
But people are so curious, and I'm like, Google it. I don't know. Like, don't ask. And they answer it. Like, they're honest and answer it. So it's possible. But like you said, mobile wise, like, I feel like when I've seen people who are paralyzed, and I know it's not everyone, but like, I know their hands kind of turn like that. But if they work through therapy, then they can, like, there's this one guy that comes across my TikTok all the time who is paralyzed from the waist down, and he's now independent because he's worked to get to that point of living on his own and dressing himself. Like, he'll make videos of dressing himself or like shaving, and even though he's a little bit more immobile on his finger movements, he makes it work. So going back to, you're getting wounds, you should be old enough to be like, I need help. I'm hurting.
Or set an alarm on your phone like every 2 hours and be like, then call your mom and be like, hey, I need you to come turn me. Like, there's ways that you can get around that. Like, if the mom's supposed to be the full-time caregiver and is allowing, or she's not setting a timer, like, to come in. Like,
I guess if the wounds are where he wouldn't feel it, though, right?
He wouldn't feel it. Probably on his, I would guess, on his bottom.
But still, you're of age, an adult, to be like, okay, I need to make sure this does. And if it's happened multiple times, it seems like it's not just one time, it's multiple times. Like, if that were me, I would make sure I'm moving. I'm trying to be like, get back to the best that I could be physically.
Like, be an advocate for yourself, maybe.
Yeah, because then it's just a poor excuse. And also to the girl, you don't feel like you're stuck, and don't feel bad if you were to leave, because it's not, I don't feel like that's fair for those who go through something like that. Like, oh, you should have just left him. Like, you tried it out, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It's no different than if he wasn't paralyzed and you guys just weren't connecting.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is like, you almost, if you decide at the end of the day for your own, which honestly, the way it sounds, like the way you wrote it in, you need to take care of yourself, and you need to put yourself first, because for the last 2 years, you've been putting somebody else first, and they're not doing the same in return. And obviously you deserve, if you've poured that much of yourself into this relationship and you're asking for just simple, like, the same thing back, or just love, or just understanding and all that, and he's not giving that to you, that's not fair. That's on him. But I think that you should also consider, like, moving on potentially, because you can't say that you don't regret it, because you put everything into it.
Yeah, you tried.
Like, like, if you would have just pieced out right when he had his accident, then you might regret not trying to stick it out and see if that would have worked for you. But it sounds like you've really given it your all, and now he's choosing, like, his mom over you, like, just in the sense of, like, being respectful.
Yeah,
like,
and you can't, people can't judge you on that either, because technically no one's allowed to judge each other. It's only God. And I don't think God's going to judge you, because clearly if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be regardless.
Yeah.
And he will put someone in your life that is meant to be. And you, it may make the situation worse of feeling bad because he is paralyzed, but it's not the end of the world. No. I mean, he could still, if he wanted to be with someone that bad, he will find a way to get, like I said, physically as best as he can get to get back into that scene. And if he doesn't, he doesn't.
I understand, like, from his perspective, you know, if we put ourselves in his shoes for a minute, like, you're most comfortable with your own family to take care of you. Obviously,
Well, and it's
maybe
all something new.
Yeah, and there might be, like, some toileting, like,
True.
you know, some private things if he's paralyzed from the waist down that she's helping him with. And you don't want just some random stranger coming in and helping you with that. So I understand from that perspective that he feels more comfortable with his mom. But at the end of the day, if she's the one that's responsible for him having all these wounds and continuing to kind of like neglect him and his health and making him be hospitalized multiple times, that's unacceptable
And
care
it's adding more
from
stress
anybody.
to the whole relationship.
Yeah. And if that was somebody else, you would immediately fire them and be like, you've been responsible for X amount of wounds. Like, no, I can't have you there. So I totally am on board with the writer here where she's like, he needs to choose somebody else if we move out. But if he's not willing to do that.
He needs to choose someone else now.
Yeah. And put his mom's feelings aside. Like, you have to do what's best for you and your health, regardless of if you are in the situation or not. Like, if you're his girlfriend or you're not his girlfriend, he needs to do that regardless.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. And you got to do what's best for you. I mean, if you feel like you've done and given your all and mentally you just cannot take it anymore, it's better to just leave now than to continue and then you resent him later on.
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't know, whatever the cases may be. So don't feel bad. And nobody pick on her or be mean to her if she were to leave, because I can see where, and it could go both ways, men or women in any situation, pity me, you know, but you have to, if that were me and I were paralyzed and it was a, you know, fresh relationship, I would almost probably the moment I like woke up would have been like,
I would break up with him.
I know, I would cut it off and like, you just go like, just go.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a lot and I need to focus on re-getting myself back together before I even like put effort into a relationship.
Especially that early on. Like, if it's different if like you're engaged or married, I think, because you've already kind of taken that. Even actually, maybe not even if you're engaged, but if you're married, like you've said those vows. Okay,
or you can be together for like 10 years or 5 years and it's happened.
Like a year, that's not really that long. I mean, I think that she went well above and beyond probably what a lot of people would have even expected to begin with.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, in any relationship, I'm sorry, but like you end up choosing that person ahead of even your extended family members. So when you marry somebody, like that becomes your family. And sometimes your own parents or your own siblings or your own cousins, your aunts and uncles, they have to kind of take a step back because your priority is that person. And if he's not willing to step up to the plate and make you his person after you've poured everything into it, sorry. I feel like you're at that breaking point is kind of what it sounds like to me through that writing. And
it's better to end it now than to continue on and, like I said, resent it later in life. And who knows, maybe he'll finally advocate for himself and get back to where he needs to be and you guys can reconnect. And
it doesn't mean that you'd be done forever, but I think you need to take a step back and make sure that that's what you want long term, and maybe write a pros cons list. Like we do that a lot, but pros and cons of, you know, staying in this relationship. Are you happy? Are your needs being met? Because you're meeting a lot of other people's needs, but are your needs being met? And what do you need in the future? What do you need from him in order for that relationship to work? Is that worth your time, your effort, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health right now, if those are all things suffering?
Yeah, I agree. I think you got to do what's best for you and kind of really what's best for him, even though if he doesn't see it right now. And like we say, always choose you. And it's okay if you do. And it's okay if you don't, because I'm sure there are a ton of success stories of people who have only been together for 6 months to a year and an accident happens and they're still together. But sometimes that doesn't work out either.
Don't make yourself feel guilty either. Like, whatever decision you make, know and trust yourself on what decision that is and that it is the best for you at this moment in time. Like we said, it might not be forever. Maybe you'll rekindle things later, but take a step back, take a breather, decide whether or not this is something you really truly want in your life and if this is the right person for you or not.
Yeah, I agree. And good luck. Good luck to you. We'll pray for you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah,
too.
that's a really
lot.
hard situation and a hard submission. I think. I mean, we've always had interesting ones, but that's a really challenging one to.
It's kind of deep.
Yeah.
Really.
So we wish you the best, and for him as well, for his healing and getting his strength back of where he can, and just growing with his unfortunate situation of a new life. So.
And for those of you watching, if you can drop a comment, just words of encouragement. I think this person really needs that right now. Help her feel good about whatever decision she makes, because I think that any of us in this situation would just really have a tough time with it.
Yeah, it would be hard. And also, talk to your family as well and friends that you feel close with, because even though it's nice to get that outside perspective is what we're here for, this is definitely a situation where you do need possibly to lean in on someone a little bit closer as well.
Yeah.
So, well,
thanks for listening to this episode. And if you haven't, make sure that you subscribe and that you follow us on
TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at
Dear Dilemma Official.